Welcome back to the Sporting Eyes YouTube channel and a new series called the Eyes Report. Now the goal of this is to go through each of the 18 clubs and just provide to you guys pretty quick and simple information about what they're doing in the pre-season, injury news and just general notes about what's going on. The plan is to do another one or two of these leading up to the practice games, which are about mid-February. I think about the February 20th onwards is the period where it really starts to ramp up. So that's the goal. In this video, we'll be covering Carlton, Geelong and the Western Bulldogs. And we'll split the videos up into the WA teams, the SA teams, Queensland, Sydney, and then the Victorian clubs will be split over 3 series. So just look out in the title of the videos to see where your club is. They'll all be released in this week, so make sure to look out for them. So starting off with the Blues, it's pretty positive news on the injury front. Besides Jacob Wiedering, who had that high-grade calf strain, nothing else seems to be pretty significant at this stage. Guys like Walsh and Cripps seem to be at full health. For Wiedering, the calf injury, at most at this stage, it seems like he'll miss a couple months. That's what they're saying. It means he'll be in a race to be fit for round 1. But if he does make it, he should be fully fit, and it'll be a very good sign for Carlton. Zach Williams is back in full training, which is a positive. In the match simulation and training, he's been very impressive, playing that half-back role, not in the midfielder. I think he prefers playing in defence, and it's been good to see him get back after doing his ACL and missing the whole of last year. Elijah Hollins, who they traded in from Gold Coast, has been a real standout at training. A lot of fans are excited by him. Been a standout in the midfield and forward. Has kind of been rotating between those two areas, but he will miss the first 2 games of the year due to that suspension for being caught with illicit substances on him, so keep that in mind. But he's been a standout. And the other recruit in Fantasia, who they got for nothing, has also been pretty impressive on the track. It's going well so far. They think there's a role for him in that forward line because their small forward stocks are a little weak, so he's one to keep an eye on to play early and fill that void and maybe form a partnership with Jesse Motlop or someone like that. And lastly, with the coach Michael Voss, it was reported by SEN Sam Edmund that it looks like he's going to sign a 2-year extension, so keep your eye out for that. That should be coming within the next couple of weeks, I'd assume. Now moving over to the Cats, they're normally pretty secretive and private, Geelong, so it's hard to get information out of them. But on the injury front, it's been a full complement of players so far, no major injuries or setbacks for anyone. Last year it was the opposite. They had Cam Guthrie, Patrick Dangerfield, Tom Hawkins. A lot of senior players had limited pre-seasons, but that's not the case. So on the injury front, it's very positive news. On the leadership front, Dangerfield will captain and Tom Stewart will be vice-captain for the 2nd straight season, so nothing has changed in that front from Geelong. It seems like no news is really good news. I think that's the biggest takeaway. None of the young players have had anything written about them or anything that like Max Holmes or Mitchell Nevitt or some of these guys. So it seems like, I guess they're all tracking well. That's what we can make of this. Again, Geelong are normally very quiet. So if you are a Geelong fan, maybe you're worried that you haven't heard anything about players impressing on the track and things like that. Don't be too concerned. There has been some changes on their coaching. So Stephen King and James Rohilly have joined as assistants. They did have some turnover in the off-season, but those 2 have come in. And Nigel Lappin has been upgraded and he's now the head of development at the Cats. So not much has happened at Geelong so far, but again, it's pretty normal for them to be quiet. So focusing on the last team in today's video, it's the Western Bulldogs. Now we know in the injury side that Bailey Smith will miss the year. It's likely he'll miss the year with his ACL. So that's the biggest player that's been out for them. Pretty good health overall besides this. Tim English was actually just cleared. It was not concussion related, the issues he had that wasn't allowing him to train. It was actually a migraine. And the club also revealed that he could have been training and playing, but they were extra cautious due to his head injury history. But it's migraine related, not concussion. So he's all clear and he'll be back pretty soon, probably this week, if not the next. Trelaw's been in and out of training, and Keith has also been missing. But it's been a pretty good playing list on the field for the Western Bulldogs so far. In general news, we know a lot of huge coaching changes. Matt Egan, Daniel Pratt, Jaron Geary and Alex Johnson are all new members surrounding Luke Beveridge. And the facilities at Whitten Oval last year are now new, they're finished, and they're just finishing off the stand actually for it to be all complete, but they have new weights, new meeting rooms, and the actual Whitten Oval itself is looking in great condition according to all who have been there, so that's a great sign. For the players on field, Riley Sanders has been a big standout. Pick 6, their first pick in the draft, has been doing everything well. It seems like he'll line up round 1, not only kind of just as a half forward, but he should get some midfield rotations. Good clean ball user and has been very impressive so far. The other youngster in Sam Darcy coming into his 3rd year, a lot of injuries. He's been good in the match sim playing forward, not in defence, so forward and ruck for him. He'll be battling probably with Lob to get into the team for round 1, but he had a day out in last Friday's match simulation, so that's a good sign. And a couple of the recruits in James Harms and Nick Caulfield haven't been kind of wowing everyone, but they've fitted in seamlessly, and they should be pretty close to being starters for round 1. So it's been a pretty good off-season so far for the Western Bulldogs. That'll conclude the first edition of the Eyes Report. If your team wasn't in this video, don't worry, it will be coming soon. I'll probably create a playlist on the channel for all of them. And if your team or you are interested in either of these 3 teams, what's been going on in their pre-season, another 1 or 2 of these will probably be on the channel within the next month or so, so look out for that. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you soon.